Well, hello everybody. So this is a real quick and dirty video, but I had to make it and I wish I'd have done it before. But I just got to talk about this little model. So a friend of mine and I yesterday, our wives are out and we thought, you know, let's meet at the hobby store and try to pick up a couple of models of things we liked when we were little and put together. And so we went out to the hobby store to try to find, you know, those 1/48 scale monogram models. And he got a Dauntless, and I picked up this one. I remember this when I was little. This was the coolest model on the planet at the time to me. This one, I mean, sadly, when you do find these, they tend to actually be kind of expensive, and we all know what's in them. But this one said as is, and it was $10 whole. And I thought, heck yeah, I'm going to get this and I'm going to paint it nice, but I'm going to put it together just as I would have when I was little and see if 50 years of modeling experience has any effect. But we came back, we sat here, the two of us, he's building the Dauntless, I'm building this, we talked. We spent a couple hours just building and sitting and chatting and having a drink, and my gosh, that was so much fun. I definitely want to do it again. But anyway, built this thing, and I really want to talk about it briefly is, my gosh, it's a neat little model. So here it is. As I've, you know, put it together. It went together very well. There's nothing in here that was difficult to put together. I have to say, the only piece of filler I've put on this so far, I scraped some seams, but the only piece of filler I put on this sucker was right here. So I put some plastic card stock right in there where that trailing edge of the wing hits in there. I did not put any filler anywhere else. I mean, places like this are supposed to be like a hinge, so didn't bother. And this little model, I mean, I got the Edward, or Edard, I don't know how you say their name, 48 scale 190. And you know, it looks beautiful. It's got all the interior. It's got gun bays. It's got hatches that open. It looks amazing. Cockpit's amazing. But look at this thing. This is 1965, apparently, when this thing was first produced. And I remember looking at it thinking, how cool is that? So let me switch lenses here, and then we'll come up to it up close and talk about it a little bit more. Okay, so I always want to show you this little model. I remember when I was little looking at this and looking at the interior and seeing that there were the seat belts were molded into the seat. I thought that was super cool when I was 8, you know. There's no cockpit interior on the side walls, but along the console on either side where the pilot is, there are details that are molded in that with some dry brushing will look fine. It's all going to be dark gray anyway. And I'm going to put the pilot in. The pilot is the famous pilot we all used. I had him in my Stuka as well. He's the guy that's waving. He's saying, hey, this guy. I'm putting him in there because I have to. But that, you know, there's an actual kind of a semi-interior. You've got dropped flaps with actual detail on the interior of the flap. That's cool. That's unusual for a model like this. Now, there's nothing on the interior up there, but you know, with a little cardstock, you could fix that. It's got details like the foot, the step. It's a little clunky maybe, but you know, that's a piece of detail you can put in. That's pretty awesome. Look at how the boot is molded on the tail wheel. It looks like a nice boot with some paint and washes and dry brushing. It'll look like a piece of leather on there. It's going to look really great. It's got the ability to slide this back and forth. I have it where I want it for that. It's you know, it's got a movable spinner, of course, and the fan inside spins around. I mean, that's super cool. And then, of course, when you're 8 or whatever, oh my gosh, so much armament. I mean, the picture on the box, I think if it had as many bombs and cannons as that thing had. It wouldn't have gotten off the ground. But I always thought these were cool. I don't even know what they are. I don't even know if everybody really had them. Maybe they did. But it's got all these other, the 20 millimeter cannons on here. The landing gear looks like it's in the right position. You know, it's a neat little model. I mean, is it better than the Edouard kit? No, I mean, especially for interior stuff. But, and we'll talk about a couple of deficiencies, but in terms of just overall shape, I mean, the wing roots didn't take any filler. It's just amazing. What have I done to it? Additionally, I lost that piece for the support. I had to just pull a piece of sprue and make that one. I drilled out all of my cannons just to give them a look like they are hollow, supposedly. I dropped my stabilizer elevator. I mean, just because to make it look a little less at attention. But that's it. Now the downside, I mean, to me, dimensionally, it looks fine. It looks like an Fw-190. I mean, I got no complaints. Dimensionally, I think it's all right. Negatives, there's two negatives, really. I know the cockpit is very sparse, but it's better than what was sold originally, I mean, during this era. But the surface detail is all raised, which I don't really mind. The rivets are very fine, and they're raised. When you look at the real airplane, I think they're kind of flush, so I don't think you'd see the rivets. So a quick shot of like 220 sandpaper over this would fix that, and you could rescribe lines. It's 1/48 scale, so it's easy to do. So, you know, that is not a problem. The biggest issue is the landing gear. There's holes here where the wheels go. I mean, like these cannons just stop. Just the barrels are molded into the wing, and there's nothing here. Now, you could go in here pretty easily and fix this up a little bit with some cardstock. Not go crazy, but you could make it so that it wouldn't look so bad. But how often do you look at the airplane like this? So I don't know if I'm going to fix that or not. I might, because it's gone so well. It's kind of fun to do those things. That to me is the biggest bugaboo on the kit. If you don't care about that, which like I said, I kind of don't, because this is the way I'm going to display it like this. It's a nifty little kit. The designers at the time really made up a nice kit, and I gotta say, it still is. There's nothing wrong with this. So I'm gonna fix it up, paint it, try to make it nice. The only part that's going to be, I think, difficult on it is right here. So the way this is designed, the spinner is designed, you can see that all spins nice, but the spinner and the prop just fit on here like so. And that area is going to have some sanding going on there, a little bit of filler to make that crack go away, make that seam go away. I'll have to look at the real airplane and see if it was, maybe it's along an actual line, I don't know. But there still has to be fit better because it still looks kind of bad. But that is going to be difficult to get right. But other than that, man, I can't wait to finish this thing. Somewhere I have an old magazine of my dad's. When this model came out, I found it and found this magazine, and they were oohing and aahing about how amazing this model was. You know, pointing out all the delicate panels and the delicate rivets and all the engine and the stores you could put on it and all this. And the cockpit interior was considered really good. I mean, this one, the P40, those are the two models I built when I was little. Monogram, that to me were like my first real models. I tried to do stuff. I even used filler on the P40. But anyway, I just had to say that I wish I'd have done a little build video, because it took about an hour and a half to build it. And shoot, I think it's really cute. It's going to look great. And then you've got all these awesome markings. Look at these things. If they're usable, I mean, they're so cool. All those, I remember I used these guys when I built it. I put those on the nose, but they were so cool. I stay away from the chickens, but I love those dragony, snaky things. They're cool. And I put somebody's markings on the tail. So we're gonna see if I can even use these. If I can't, I can do something else. But man, I wish I'd have had a little video log of this, because this old Monogram kit, thumbs up from me. Okay, so here it is, all finished. I haven't painted my guy yet, but this is just the old Monogram 190, and I used the decals from it. They were yellowing around the edge, and so all I did was cut the edges off. The markings are sort of spurious. I've just kind of made them up along the way. I never did worry about that line on the spinner because it doesn't look bad. The decals work great. This one's kind of curled on the bottom, but overall not bad. I painted on the rear red band myself, but everything else is decals, and especially when you airbrush and you sort of post shade things, you know, they just look worn. But everything looks pretty good as far as I'm concerned. What I'm going to do for fun is build I've got an Edward kit that's really a nice kit, and it's got all this interior detail and gun bays and all that nonsense. And I'm going to try to build it and sort of set them side by side and compare them. But man, the 8-year-old me thinks this is pretty amazing. No problems at all. I'm going to paint my pilot and put him in there, but I had fun putting on the weathering and the exhausts and all the rest. I don't know. To me, it looks kind of like a Fw-190. So good on you, Monogram.